Hello, heroes and villains. Today we will answer some of your questions that are often asked because 7 years. We have been making these videos for 7 years. I don't know if any of you guys have been here for all that time. I know some of you guys have been here for quite a long time, like John T. But I'm not sure if there's anyone who was here 7 years ago who is still around today. You might let us know in the comment section down below. Tell us in the comment section, how long have you been watching the multiverse? Maybe I should make a poll about this. I'll try to answer some of the questions that are often asked. I'm sure I've answered some of those questions in the past, but there's always new subscribers all the time. Heck, as I'm recording this, we're just a couple of subscribers away from 26,000 subs. So we always get new and new people. So I'm sure, even though I may have answered those questions in the past, at this point we have like 3,000 videos. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys never heard the answer to those questions. But I guess before I start answering those questions, I should start with a big thank you. If you've been watching those videos, it doesn't matter if you've been watching for 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, or if you started last week. Thank you very much for watching those videos. We've also crossed a few other milestones, like we crossed 8 million views some times ago. Although again, as I'm recording this, we're very close to 9 million views. And again, guys, I have to say thank you. Without you guys, there wouldn't be all those views, there wouldn't be all those subscribers. Basically, this little channel would be pretty much pointless if you guys did not watch it. And for that, I have to say thank you. So let us start with our questions. I guess the first questions I should answer is, why did I start making this Multiverse channel? Why did I decide one morning, okay, today I'm making a YouTube channel? Basically, it is all thanks to Jens Anderson. For those of you who maybe do not know, Jens Anderson used to be the creative director way back when I started playing the game. And at some point they were working on exporting this Universe Online to Xbox. And I think they had a lot of new players that were trying out this Universe Online for the first time. And in the very first mission, when you start in the Brainiac ship and you have to escape the Brainiac ship. Sadly, there's a few places where people would pretty much hit a wall. And they would figure that either the game was bugged or something, and they would quit and never come back again. Like there's a place where you had to activate your movement mode in order to be able to continue. But if somehow people did not know how to activate their movement mode, they just could not continue. So they would quit and never come back. Or also at some point they added 3 little robots that would act as a sort of tutorial to teach the counter mechanics. And sadly, unless you did the counter mechanics, the robots were invincible. I even know some friends who did try the game, and when they reached that point, they thought they had hit a game breaking bug or a game stopping bug, and they did just that. They left, and I was never able to convince them to try the game again, because they thought that if the game was that buggy early on in the game, they didn't want to bother with the rest of the game. They did not want to run risking running into a game stopping bug much later in the game, so they'd rather quit right there and then than take that risk. Although since then, that whole first mission was completely reworked, so it's impossible for people to be stuck the way it used to be. So way back when Jens Anderson, also known as Spittle, I mentioned that a lot of people were quitting with that very first mission. I had a flash, an epiphany, a revelation. I thought, let's make a tutorial for that first mission that maybe could help new players. And that's pretty much how the whole thing started. Basically making a YouTube channel that will help new players play this Universe Online. Another thing that people often mentioned way back when is that there's not a lot of tutorials, or this Universe Online is lacking tutorials, which is something a lot of games do. But somehow I could not do anything about those other games, but I certainly could do something about this Universe Online. So I made the first video showing how to get through the Brainiac mission, and that's pretty much how the whole thing started. So I started making 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos, and before you knew it, I had over 3,000 videos. Another question I often get is, Multiverse, I would like to make a YouTube channel. How can I do that? I would simply say, just do it. I know it sounds a bit silly. I know a lot of people made fun of someone way back when they just said that, just do it. And I'm not talking about the Emperor in Star Wars who said, do it. But at the end of the day, just do it. You have to simply roll your sleeves, jump into the fray, and figure it out as you go along. Especially if you wait and wait for things to be perfect. Like I've seen people who did that, not necessarily for YouTube, but I've seen people who would start a project and then they wouldn't release their project because it's not perfect just yet, and then they would rework it and rework it and rework it. The first thing you knew it, 20 years later, they still did not release their project. Heck, if I'd waited for my channel to be perfect before starting it, I would not have started it just yet. Like at first, when I started my channel, I did not even know the name of the channel. I started with a generic name like Heroes, and I figured I'll find something better a bit later. And sometimes it's better to just do it now, even if it's not perfect. Even if you know that it's not the bestest idea or the bestest execution or nothing is perfect, better to do it now than to never do it. Because also as you do it, you will learn and you will improve. There's a lot of things you will figure out as you make your videos. And from video to video, you will learn new stuff. And sometimes you'll make mistakes, which our friend Bob Ross used to call happy accident. And then sometimes you'll realize that, oh, that happy accident is actually quite good. So you will sometimes learn new things by making a mistake and realize that actually the mistake was a good thing that happened. So don't wait for things to be perfect in order to start making videos. It will get better the more videos you make. So the more you make videos, the more you will figure out stuff. Like for example, if you look at my thumbnails, there was quite a process to end up with the kind of thumbnails I use these days, and I still experiment a bit. Sometimes I'll try something different, realize that truly doesn't work, and I'll go back to pretty much the template I have right now. And I've seen some people copy my thumbnails without really understanding what they're doing. Obviously, they did not go through the process I did to end up with the thumbnails I have, so they don't really understand why I do certain things. And when they try to copy it, they only copy it on a surface level. And sometimes you can tell that they're pretty much repeating what I'm doing without really understanding why I'm doing it this way. So coming up with the thumbnails was a long process, but it's also a metaphor, I would say, for how to make your channel. Making your channel is a long process that will evolve over time. Just the name of the channel. It took me about a month to come up with the name of the channel, and it came out almost by accident when I was discussing about someone on the forums. And I think in the discussion I mentioned that one of the first things the game does is introduce you to the concept of the multiverse, and then it hit me, holy crap, I have to call my channel Multiverse. Or even with my opening line, hello heroes and villains. It's for a long time I would say hi guys, and that was it. And at some point some of you suggested I should use a name to describe you guys. There's the Blockbuster Buster, Erod the Blockbuster Busters, who calls his viewers the Legionnaires. Angry Joe calls them the Angry Army. So some of you guys were suggesting like I should call you maybe the planets, seeing how I'm the multiverse, and at the end of the day, it was much simpler than that. It just hit me out of the blue as I was making a video. It hit me. I thought, holy crap! Some of you guys are playing heroes. Some of you guys are playing evil villains. That's all I start. Hello, heroes and villains. And so the whole thing is don't try to be perfect right from the start, which is a mistake I see a lot of people doing. Just do it. I know it seems silly and maybe cliche, but just do it. And it will evolve over time, and that's how you will discover your voice, and you will discover also the style for your channel. It's the best I can explain at this point. I should probably make a video specifically about how to make videos for YouTube. I'll have to give it some thoughts. Another question that a lot of you guys often have is Multiverse. When did you start playing DC Universe Online? Basically, I started playing the game when the game went free to play. And not exactly when it went free to play, because when the game went free to play, I sort of expected that the servers would probably have a hard time keeping up with all the new players coming in. So I figured I would wait. I think I waited like 3 weeks before I decided to give it a try. I should have tried, in retrospect, I should have tried the game as soon as it was released. But way back when, the reviews for DC Universe Online were not very good. The best reviews were lukewarm at best. The best reviews were something along the lines of, the game is kind of fun, and it's fun for 1 month, but you cannot play it more than 1 month. You cannot. It's not a game that you can pay $15 a month and play month after month after month. And at the time, you had to purchase the game for like $60, $65, and then afterwards you had to pay $15 a month to play the game. And at the time, I wasn't sure if I wanted to pay 65 bucks, and realized that the game is fun, but not so fun, not so much fun. So at the time, I did what I'm sure a lot of people did. I stayed away from the game. Also, the game, it was a game in the DC universe, and somehow we could not play the Batman or Superman or any of the iconic DC characters. It's another thing that puzzled a lot of people way back when. A lot of people were wondering like why make a game in the DC universe if you cannot play Batman, if you cannot play Superman? Already, if we wanted to play generic characters, there already was a Champion Online, there was a City of Heroes, so why not let us play the Batman? But again, I was a foolish fool. I should have tried the game right from the start. But the reviews did a good job of convincing me that maybe I should wait a bit. And then when the game went free to play, no more excuses. So I tried the game, but again, I waited 3 weeks before trying it out. And even after 3 weeks, the servers were still struggling with all the new players. I know there was a bit of a waiting time. Also, actually, during the day there was a long waiting time sometimes. If you played at 3 a.m., the waiting time wasn't so bad. And I was free to play player for about like 2 days. After maybe 3 days, I thought, okay, this is fun, and I wanted to be at the very least a premium. At the time, you could be free to play, premium, or legendary. We still can be the same today, but things are a bit different today. But at the time, you had to spend $5 in order to become premium. So I figured, okay, the game is fun enough. It's more than worth. It's worth more than $5. So I went and bought the Batman Legend character for $5. The future Batman Legend character. So with that, I became a premium player. And then after about a month, there was a Lightning Strike DLC that came out. And at first I thought, maybe I'll just buy the DLC. Like previously, I'd purchased the Green Lantern DLC. And now there was this new Flash DLC that came out. And I was wondering, should I buy it or should I go Legendary? And then I figured, I'll go Legendary for a month. Worst comes to worst, I'm not going to like it. And I'll just go back to being a premium player. But once I became a Legendary, I've been pretty much a Legendary ever since. And I guess that brings us to our next question. Multiverse, aren't you tired of playing DC Universe Online all the time? And the short answer is no. Now let's go into the long answer. At this point, I would think it's no secret that I love DC Universe Online. First, because I do play it quite a bit, but also I made over 3,000 videos about it. I guarantee you, if I did not like the game the way I do, I would not have made 3,000 videos about it. And I certainly would not have played the game for over 10 years. I've been playing the game for over 10 years. I made thousands of videos, so that alone should let people know that I love this game. One of the things that helps, I guess, is that I have alternate characters. I have a lot of characters. So if one day I decide I want to play as the Batman, I log in with my Batman character. If one day I decide I want to play as Superman, I log in with my Superman character. If one day I want to play as the evil Darkseid, I log in with my Dark Multiverse character. And also I play when I want to play it. It may be a bit weird. And also I play to have fun. I don't force myself to do stuff, or I don't force myself to do stuff too much. Yeah, there's a few things sometimes that you have to push yourself in order to do it, like playing the broker. I often mention to people, you have to learn how to play the broker. And yeah, sometimes playing the broker can be a bit of a pain in the butt. But believe it or not, the more you do it, the more you use the broker, the more you get used to it, and it becomes much easier after a while. And after a while, it's not as painful as it is at first, let's say. Yeah, there's a big learning curves at first, but once you get through that learning curve, using the broker is easy enough, and it's almost fun as well. It's a game within the game, if it makes any sense. So I usually stick to things that I have fun doing. And I try not to force myself too much to force myself to play exactly. For example, the only time where I really push myself to do stuff I don't really enjoy is when I need a specific style to be able to make a video about it. Like, for example, when there's a new seasonal, there's the upcoming seasonal. I will probably push myself a bit at first to play that seasonal so that I can show you some of the styles in that seasonal or show you some of the base items. But that's pretty much the exception. And then ultimately, at the end of the day, if I really don't want to do it, I just won't do it. At the end of the day, this is a game, and games should be played to have fun. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just trying to have fun. And sometimes if there's something that I really don't enjoy, I just don't do it. Like for a long time, I did play PvP. I did enjoy PvP quite a lot. And then at some point, I hit a wall. I hit a point where I did not really enjoy PvP anymore. So I pretty much stopped doing it. Or Legends PvE. Uh, in theory, playing Legend characters should be a fun bit. Sadly, some of those missions are very frustrating when you play them with Legend characters. Although now with the stat clamp, those same missions are very frustrating, even if you're not playing as a Legend character, but that's another story. But ultimately, if there's something I don't really enjoy doing, I just don't do it. I don't enjoy Legends PvE very much, so I don't play it very much, and you may have noticed, I don't make videos very much about it either. The same for PvP. PvP is not so much that I don't enjoy it. I got a bit burnt out. I guess I did push myself a little too much with PvP. Way back when they first gave us the first quote-unquote season of PvP, they made a few changes that, let's say, made PvP a bit frustrating. One of the changes that they made is that you did not get marks if you did not win your matches. At the time also, you were loot locked, like you had to win like 5 matches a day. And the first day, everyone was wearing cash gear. Basically, they had changed the gear, all the gear, the PvP gear. And on the first day, you had to purchase some gear just using cash. And then you had to use that cash gear to be able to win your matches in order to be able to purchase some more powerful PvP gear using some marks. Sadly, they made it so that if you did not win your match, you did not get any marks at all. You had to win your matches. And that first day, it was easy enough to win all my matches. But then, by the end of the day, there's a lot of people who basically spam their replay badges, and by the end of the day, they were wearing full vengeance gear. So sadly, by the end of that first day, even though I was still in cash gear, I was always matched again, or pretty much always matched against people in full vengeance gear. And even worse, way back when, the rage power was the newest power we had at the time. It was pretty much the most powerful power we had at the time. And I was playing a troll character. So sadly at the time, troll versus tank, the tank had a huge advantage over trolls. And the rage being the most powerful power at the time, it was very frustrating. And also for some extra fun, the game kept on matching me versus rage tank. And not only versus Rage Tank, but versus Rage Tank in full Vengeance gear. And there was supposed to be a matchmaking system that would match people of the more or less same strength against each other. The matchmaking wasn't working. There's some people who found ways to be able to exploit the matchmaking, but also some people on the first day, some people by spamming PvP matches, they were able to get full Vengeance gear by the end of the day, and that kind of messed up the whole system. Also, there were people who would trade wins and losses. So some people would fight each other, and they would lose on purpose to be able to lower their matchmaking ranking, I suppose. So that was very, very frustrating. So I had to play a lot of PvP to get my wins, and the matchmaking, let's say, made me a bit angry sometimes. So that's one of those times where I pushed and pushed myself, in order to be able to get the Vengeance gear. And once I got the full Vengeance gear, it became much easier, much better. But holy crap, the road in order to be able to get the full Vengeance gear, that was a very frustrating one. And that kind of burnt me of PvP. After that, I did not really want to play PvP anymore. I would play it a bit to get the next set of gear, but I did not really want to play PvP anymore at that point. And also at some point they made some changes. Way back when, we used to be able to create our characters directly in the PvP open world. But they decided to change that and make it so that we could no longer do that. So nowadays we have to create our character on the PvE open world. And if we want to go to the PvP open world, we have to use the phase shifter in order to be able to do that. And since they made that change, the PvP open world is pretty much deserted. So I did not really want to play PvP after that. So at the end of the day, this is a game. Games are made to be fun, and basically I do activities that I have fun doing. I play with characters I have fun playing with. I use powers I have fun playing with. I don't try to use the most OP powers. I just use the powers I enjoy using. So that is pretty much how I'm able to still play the game after over 10 years. I just play to have fun, and I have fun doing it. And not only do I have fun playing, I have fun making videos about the game as well. So I think that should be it for now. I could go on and on and on, but that'll do for today. If you guys have any questions, ask so in the comment section down below. Um, Maybe I could make a follow-up video to this video where I answer a whole bunch of your questions, or depending on the questions, I could probably make a video specifically about that. Heck, most of the questions I just answered today, I could probably have made a long video about each of those questions. Maybe I'll do that in the future. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. So again, guys, we've been here for 7 years, and it's pretty much thanks to you guys. Also, we're about to cross 26,000 subscribers as I'm recording this, and we're about to cross 9 million views all as well as I'm recording this. Again, guys, thank you. Without you guys, all of that would not be possible. So, guys, thank you.